Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I have a layout for Traci Redesigns, and it is release weekend for the Amber Glow collection. So this is a fall collection, and today is actually the Instagram hop. And so if you hop over to Instagram, you can check out this layout and then hop through and see what everyone else created. All of that will be in the description box below. The first thing I'm showing you here is what I've pulled out to use for this layout. So everything that I'm using here is actually from the digital kit. So even though the digital kit is primarily used for digital scrapbooking, this definitely shows you that you can print all of those elements out and use them as a hybrid scrapper. And so my layout today is using that, or using items from that digital kit that I have printed, and we are going to create this layout. So I showed you everything that I pulled, and then very quickly, I know it is sped up, so if you didn't catch some of the ink colors that I used, just let me know, and I can always let you know in the description box, or in the comments. I can give you the names if you didn't catch them. But basically, once I had everything cut for my layout, I decided to go through and add some inking to the edges of my leaves and to the different elements for my page. And this just adds a really nice bit of interest to the digital cuts. They're all paper, so this just adds some additional texture, some additional interest, and makes it not feel so flat. So that is what you see me doing here. I just did a couple of them on camera, but it's pretty simple. I just simply went ahead and added some ink to the edges that match the colors. And while I am matting my photos here, I'm going to mat them just on white, a piece of scrap white cardstock here. And I chose to just do them on white because I had so much going on in my background. So as you saw at the beginning when I showed everything that I pulled for this layout, I have lots of large leaves. I have some butterflies. I have some branches with some leaves. And then I have a cut file that I used the green, or one of the green pattern papers from the collection, to cut from my silhouette a wreath. It's a leaf wreath, kind of hard to say. And I used that on my silhouette to cut that green paper. And so that's going to be the base. And then I'm going to place all of those leaves and then my photos in that wreath. And so here we've come back. So I've matted my photos, did all my inking, and now I'm going to move all of those items off of my background. I love that giant bow. That's going to act at the top of my wreath. And I really love how that bow looks. My background is created with one of the pattern papers with all the leaves and acorns, and then I took the brown, or one of the brown solids from the collection, layered that up, and then from the digital kit, Traci always creates some mixed media elements, and so I took one of the mixed media elements and I created that in the center, so that that was where my title is going to go. So I wanted to add something to the center. Now, when I printed it, I also added my own white splatters and gold splatters. Again, it just gives some more texture, and it helps the background not to feel so flat because I'm adding things on top of that pre-printed background that I created. And I have to say, creating my backgrounds now and layering up pattern papers has become one of my favorite things to do. And so I'm really loving playing with the digital papers and embellishments and really creating some fun textural feeling backgrounds. So highly recommend, if you haven't checked out the digital kits, to go ahead and check them out. Traci's digital kits, all of her elements, everything in them is just amazing, and it's so beautiful. And if you're a hybrid like scrapbooker like me, you can definitely print them out, cut them, and you can make beautiful pages. So here you see I am just building out my wreath. And so it is just a matter of laying the pieces out, kind of playing with the placement, and I'm kind of like moving things around. Here I'm taking one of the leaf branches, and I didn't want it as a whole because it was too big, so I'm tearing it apart. Definitely do that. Make your embellishments work for you. And doing the same thing with the one up here. I wanted my photos not to be completely across from each other on the wreath, so one's a little higher on the left and the photo on the right is a little bit lower, so that meant I had to fill up more on the right side than the left. And so I'm just placing the elements around, and you can see how it's looking, and there's so much texture and so much interest. And I really love the wreath and then the photos. I really think, even though there's a whole lot going on, really feel like the photos stand out. And I absolutely love how this layout turned out. It's been a while since I've used a cut file, I feel like, and I definitely loved how this one kind of came together with that background and then all of the large leaves, which I don't tend to have or use a lot of big embellishments, and so this was really fun. I did pull out an acrylic for part of my title, which says Autumn Adventure, and so that I'm going to use for my part of my title. And then I also went to the alpha set that's in the collection, and I used the gold alpha set, and I printed it out multiple times and then layered it all up so they're like a thicker, basically. And I printed out the rest of my title, which is in the city. So it's Autumn Adventure in the City, and that's what these photos are about. It was autumn, and we went to Atlanta for a concert, and so these are just, one is a picture from our window of our hotel, and then where the concert was happening, and then a concert poster from outside of the event. And so that's what I was documenting. It kind of works out perfect. I live in Florida, so I don't have fall, so sometimes these collections are hard for me to use, but this one, I have to say, like, for the fact that I don't get like fall changing colors and leaves, this collection, there's so much in it that you'll see even with my layout for the YouTube hop tomorrow. Even though this is a fall collection, it doesn't have to be fall photos. This one I had fall photos, but it doesn't have to be. And yeah, I really love how this one turned out. As you can see, I have glued everything down. I only tacked down pieces of the leaves and the wreath, so there's lots of dimension, lots of popping up. The photos are all popped up as well. I added some sequins and then the butterflies with some little drawn butterfly tails, and yeah, I am in love with how this one turned out. These are the still photos. Like I said, go check out the Instagram hop, see what everyone has created, and with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.